Week 8 of the Golden T-Mobile World Championship qualifying matches. We have Indiana's Chad Schrump taking on Mr. Bond, Travis Bond, hailing from Texas. Hi everybody, I'm Andy Kuhlman, Director of Esports for Incredible Technologies, here to fill in the very big shoes of Mr. Chad Schrump as we tee off on the back nine of Royal Dubai. Both players going to punch their shots out and have a decent look at this pin. That green is going to break to the right. So they're going to put it a little left of the hole and try to walk it back. There's a nice shot out of Mr. Schrump just outside of GSP range. And here's Mr. Bond. That line looks a little bit better. And he is going to be awarded with 3,400 GSPs on the first hole. So a slight lead for Mr. Bond. And as you all know, great shot points are the deciding factor in these single elimination top 8 World Championship bracket matches. Chad Schrump already got a little bit of ground to make up. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of conflicted here. I've got, on the one hand, I've got the professional relationship with, well, let's put a pin in this. This is a serious hole right here. Stinger, sniper off the bat. Schrump just snugged up to the next to the hole for 12,000 great shot points. That was a real good attempt right there. Just a little bit left of the hole. You see the wind kind of walk it left. And here's Mr. Bond taking a totally different approach with the javelin. He's just going to try to walk it right up next to the hole, and he is awarded with 14,000 great shot points. So he is going to snatch back that GSP lead on the second hole, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of back and forth between these two players. On the one hand, you've got Travis Bond, a very strong mobile player who's been a competitor in these World Championships for as long as I can remember. And on the other hand, you've got Chad Schrump, the figurehead of the Golden T-Mobile community, the voice of Golden T-Mobile. So like I was saying a minute ago, I've got my professional relationship with Chad Schrump, casting my Worlds event. I was a little worried that was going to go long, but he stays safe. And then on the other hand, I've got Chad Schrump, my buddy, the guy I want to see succeed in these matches and earn a spot that he rightfully deserves in the World Championship. So I'm very conflicted here. I'm going to do my best to not let any biases sleep through. As a long putt, and Chad is going to leave it just a little bit high and barely stays out of the water. Bond is going to drop the putt as well, and his will go into the water. So that is going to be a stroke swing in advantage for Mr. Schrump if Bond can clean this putt up. He does. Now we'll see Chad Schrump's look. Oh my goodness, he was millimeters from the water there. The fringe might have saved him from matching Mr. Bond's shot there. Moving on to hole 13. This one, I feel like this one can be gettable depending on the pin placement. If it's closer up, to that rock wall, it's going to be a lot harder to dial that shot in. And if it's further back, you're going to be able to kind of run a shot out with the Maniacs or with the Ranger or something and punch it out. So we see it is a closely tucked to the front pin. Chad's just going to punch that Maniacs right under the green and let his ball run out as expected. Mr. Bond's going to be picking up the Ranger here as he was in the rough. Kicks off the fringe, and oh my goodness, Mr. Bond almost sniped that hole out of nowhere. A hole I said wasn't really gettable, and Mr. Bond shows you with a little bit of Ranger run up, you can make that hole look pretty nice. Great, funny pin here. That's why I kind of giggled at the start. It's really hard to get after this when it's right next to the water. So you're going to see Chad go long. You're going to see Mr. Bond go long, because normally online in a silver gold matchup, you could get aggressive. But in the World Championship top 8 bracket single elimination, where a single mistake is the end of your run, you leave that short, it is a disaster. So both guys going to play it safe. They're not chasing GSPs. They're just going to stay dry, which is the proper play here. Moving into hole 15, we got 3 holes left for Mr. Bond to make that stroke up. He's probably going to try to get it done here, and it's not a bad look. So let's see what happens. Let's see how this unfolds. Schrump going to punch it right through the gap. leave it a little bit short and let it run down, it looks like, and that is. Looks like the fringe rough area slowed that ball a little bit down more than he had wanted. Bond approaching with the sniper here, going to punch it a little bit long, also a great shot. You know, kind of only 5 holes in, and we've seen different balls and different approaches out of both players on multiple holes. So it's kind of interesting to see the diversity of play at this level, at the very upper echelon of Golden Tee Mobile. 14-mile-an-hour wind here is going to be tough. Shot shaping is going to be key for both these guys. Hitting the snipers. Looks like Bond went out a little bit wider, which I think is, you know, going to be safe as well. Walks that shot back. Both guys with a chip. High pressure. Schrump drains it. No sweat for Mr. Chad Schrump. Mr. Bond tries to answer, and he does not. Unable to answer. The stroke differential is going to jump to 2. And the door is closing on Mr. Bond as there are 2 holes left to play. He needs to make up 1 stroke on each hole or 2 strokes on 1 hole. This first one, pretty gettable. Chad's going to play it safe. Punch that sniper right onto the back part of the green. Mr. Bond going for the jav here. So it seems like Mr. Bond's a lot more comfortable with the javelins, whereas Schrump is more than happy to bust out those snipers and just punch it right onto the green. 1 hole left to play. 2-stroke lead for Chad Schrump. Mr. Bond needs a miracle. 18 isn't really the place for it to happen either, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess this one could get a little bit goofy with the back pin. Schrump is just going to play right to the heart of the green with the jab, punch it on there nice and safe, leave himself an easy clean up putt. And it looks like Mr. Schrump is going to be moving on to the semifinals of the Golden Tee Mobile World Championship qualifying matches, Week 8. Outstanding performance from Mr. Schrump. There were no nerves. He was dialed in. He played safe. He played smart. He played clean, and he earned his victory to move on to the semifinals. Chad Schrump, we'll see you tomorrow.